Everybody, man. Everybody was engaged, locked in. D-Lo played really well today. All of our main guys are new guys. Gabe, uh, Torian, just the tenacity, the athleticism, the speed. Jackson Hayes, Christian Wood, like we're really blessed to have the type of roster we have, and we've been putting in some work and having those returning players, help us, collaborate with us to communicate what we're trying to do on both sides of the ball. It just speeds up the process. You can see everybody listening, engaged, seeking the information, embracing the information, and trying to apply it during practice.
How do you handle Austin Reeves, knowing he put in some extra work during the offseason?
I mean, just you have to be careful. Again, we get on the same page. Rob, myself, Roger, Ed, our performance team, and come up with a good plan. And he participated in a good part of practice, but obviously there's things we have to be careful with.
What's the plan, if you know it yet, with your big guys, particularly the veterans, LeBron and AD, through the games for the preseason? Like how much?
I mean, we're just taking things one day at a time. Once we have to cross that bridge, we'll cross it. But we communicate well with one another. So at some point here in the next couple of days, we'll figure something out.
How much scrimmaging did you guys do today?
Did a fair amount. We have some transition drills that we do against our coaching associates. We also do a lot of control stuff. We did some one-on-one stuff, defensive stuff, breakdown. So fair amount of competitive from one-on-one to three-on-three to five-on-five.
There was last year. You're building foundation, culture, and all of that stuff. How different was it today, having these basically the core of this team together from the trade deadline last year?
I mean, you could just see the vertical alignment. There's no. Everyone just has a focus and a great energy and great spirit, and you can see it through and through from all of the people that support our group. Again, the performance team, our media team, everybody, all the way down front office, coaching staff. Everyone just has a great spirit about the potential we have, and to see it, everyone together and competing and working. I mean, the sky's the limit. I feel like every day we just can't skip any steps. Every day we got to come with that same focus, and it's going to be hard because obviously first day of training camp, everybody's hyped, a little nervous energy, but everybody's excited to be around each other, and eventually you'll get into the dog days. So we have to keep the focus about extracting something good out of each and every one of these sessions. But I think the overall spirit in the building is phenomenal.
What do you call the best way to build training camp day one through guys? Now your first game is on Saturday, but how do you try to build it without pushing them too hard, then pushing them just far enough?
Well, you don't try to build Rome in a day. I mean, you target maybe one or two things offensively, one or two things defensively to work on, and you just stay there. And we're going to have plenty of time to really get more detail with our offense, more detail with our defense, different counters and all of that stuff on both sides of the ball. But today it was just a matter of creating a skeleton, so to speak, and eventually that skeleton to have meat on its bones. But right now it's just laying a foundation of competitiveness, playing together, commit to the trust for one another on both sides of the ball, and to water that right here and now before we start literally getting into the intricacies of what we're doing on each side of the ball.
Because of the continuity that you guys have spoken about, do you feel like you can get to those intricacies or get to those details maybe a little bit quicker than maybe you were last year?
Totally. Both Brown and AD are like coaches on the floor. I mean, D-Lo is a high-level thinker out there. Gabe, what he brings, that seriousness, that IQ, that competitive force. Everyone, you can just see everyone chopping it up. Austin's on the sidelines talking to the young guys as they come off and they get subbed and out of the scrimmage. It's a group effort. It's a group effort. And it has to be that way. All of us communicate. And I told them, the more we communicate, collaborate on trying to get the right information and execute it the right way, the better off we be, and it'll happen at a pretty swift rate.
The CBA allows you, as a coach, I think, to have two-a-days throughout the course of camp. I think we were told you don't plan on doing any?
Nah, I'm not doing two-a-days. I mean, what we're doing right now, I think, is the most efficient way to go about our business. everything was high intensity today. It wasn't any drop off. I'm not trying to win a tough man contest just to say we went 2-a-days and burning people out. We need everybody to be healthy and available for as long as possible. So we jump right into it. Everything is timed. We move from one drill to the next to the scrimmage. We sprinkle in water breaks in between those sessions of whether it's a breakdown drill or all-out scrimmage. And we try to be as efficient as possible and get the highest level of performance during these training sessions.
Is some of that the fact that you've had a lot of the guys in the gym throughout the offseason,
Yeah.
the mini camp, and some of that just the changing NBA, like the way teams approach?
Totally. I mean, we were working within the rules last year. And this year, obviously, as you mentioned, guys have been in here in August, September, working on not just throwing up shots at the rim, but actually working on this stuff in their individual workouts or their combo workouts. And so we feel like we're ahead of the curve a little bit. So we're excited. It was a good day today.
Was everybody healthy and available?
Yes, everyone was healthy and available. Say that one more time.
What have you seen from Christian?
Just his attention to detail. He wants to be elite defensively, and he was one of the main voices you heard when we were going pick and roll defense, when we, in the breakdown, in the scrimmage. His ability to switch and sit down in the stands and try to keep the guards in front, rebounding, blocking shots. He was truly, truly extremely engaged on the defensive side of the ball.
You said feeling ahead of curve, just I guess detail-wise, what does that look like in the practice like today?
Well, when you set something up, you hear the player say, oh, he's talking about this, this, and that. And they're aligning themselves as once I mention what we're about to work on, if it's like, okay, I want to walk through something pick and roll defensive-wise. And you see the guys talking about center field and the way we want to guard it, how to, the angle of the screen and how to guard the screener, how we got to be on the ball. The players are talking about this amongst themselves, and so it makes it that much easier for me to communicate it because it's corporate knowledge that's being displayed. So that was a great thing. And again, it helps move practice along smoothly. You're not having to stop, have these long coaching clinics. You can just get right to the meat and potatoes of what you want to deliver information-wise, and they embrace it and they execute it.
Darvin, you mentioned experimenting and tinkering with lineups during training camp. Were you able to do some of that today?
A little bit here and there. Pretty much stayed traditional today, though.
Who got the start at 3?
Say that again?
Who got the start at small 4 today?
Great
I
question.
forgot.
Ah,
You'll go ahead.
Great question, bro.
Good try, Mike.
Nice, Mike.
Appreciate you.
You talked about how it was easier for you. Last year you got the blue tape out. How was the spacing? How'd you like the spacing this year, as far as the guys and everything?
It's good, man. We're trying to do something different spacing-wise, and they embraced it. And then, we got a lot of high IQ, highly skilled, versatile players. So they were showing us stuff that they were adding their own little spices to the soup, so to speak. And so it looked great. It looked extremely organized.